Hi, my name is Rajesh Punia. I am your examiner today. And what's your full name?
My full name is manjita.
Can I see your ID, please?
Hey, yes.
Thank you. Where are you from, Manjit?
I'm from Untitled, a small village situated in Tohana, Fatehabad.
Okay, do you work or study?
I study. I recently completed my level 7 diploma in business management from Kiwi Institute of Training and Education.
Okay, and where do you live now?
I live in Untitled now.
Okay, do you like that area?
Yes, I quite like that area because they got they bullet news in government school, and they got a lot of shops to buy some stuff from there. And then we got a facility of bus transport, even the train transport is there too, so it's good.
Okay, do you know lots of people in your area?
Yes, I do know because they are relative of my in-laws, and then they are really good people. They are nice people, and we love doing things together.
Okay, now let's talk about shoes. Do you have a favorite pair of shoes?
I don't, but I always prefer to buy shoes related to my uniform, like whatever the uniform I wear. So I like having a casual and then the rest of the shoes.
Okay, what do you consider more when you're buying shoes, comfort or style?
I always prefer style. Sometimes I go for comfort as well because if it's a hard job to do, and then you have to think about your safety as well. So then I go for safety shoes. Otherwise, I always go like fashion shoes.
Okay, do you buy shoes on the internet?
I do sometimes, but not like all the time. I have to visit to the places and see like how is it, whether it fits to me or not. Then I go for like offline shopping.
Okay, how often do you buy shoes?
I mean like maybe 4 or 5 pairs in a month, and then because we have a lot of weddings to attend, and then we have occasions to go for, so party, wedding. So every time I go for new shoes.
Okay, let's talk about water. Do you prefer bottled or tap water?
I prefer bottled water because that should be purified, because otherwise you get disease. I mean, like if it's contagious, so then it's gonna be hard for your health.
Okay, how often do you drink water?
I often like 4 or 5 times a day.
Okay, and is bottled water expensive in your area?
I think it's too much expensive. 10 rupees for one bottle, and otherwise at home like it's free of cost. Like you can drink whatever. How much the limit you want to.
Okay, did you ever experience suffering from thirst in your area?
Not in my area because they have a good quality of water coming from from earth, and then yes, we have a facility, and then we grow a lot of vegetables as well with the help of that water. So we never had a thirst before.
Okay, very nice. Let me give you a cue card now.
Yes.
And your cue card is about an activity that you like to do when you are alone.
Okay, thank you.
This one. And you may note down something over here. It's your paper.
Thank you. Thanks.
And you have 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, your time's up. Start, please.
I have given a topic about activity that I like spending alone. As I joined Sikhism like 3 years ago, I'm coming to the point. I'm coming to the to Q card, and this was like a biggest achievement of my life that I joined Sikhism. And then I like listening to music. There should be kirtan. I mean, like a religious prayer of Sikh people, and I keep listening to them. And then the way they play flute or harmonium and other kind of tools, and it's a good though because because it gives you relaxation as well. And I often play the music like maybe 4 or 5 hours in a day. I play that music and then listen to it, and then I like it most because it's giving me a relaxation. And my family still not in this area. I mean I belong to a Sikh family, but didn't know about my roots. And then I joined Sikhism about 3 years ago. I start telling them this is how you can change your life, because we are living, all of us, we are living a bad life, I would say, because we have a lot of violence and domestic violence, and people are addicted to drugs and everything. By staying away from these kind of stuff, you should be religious, you should listen to your prayers, and I always spread message to others as well. This is how you can get peace of mind, and then peace of your for whole life, and peace for your kids as well. So I pray, I have a specific time for the prayer as well. In the morning, I always I will be waking up at I always wake up at 3 or about 4 o'clock approximately at that time, and then I have to have a shower. I have to wash my hair as well, and then I get to change my dress, and then I go for the prayer, because we have a separate room for the prayer. It's upstairs, and then that room is always neat and clean. We have to mop, and we have to do seva, means we have to serve everything. We have to clean everything, and then we have to pray from the religious book. And every day we get new message from God, this is how you should run your life. And it's the best way to know each and everything. This is how you should apply all the things in your life, because He's the creator of whole world. And then for us, we love each and every community. We don't have a racism, and we don't do discrimination as well. Such people live in this country. They wanted to help other people. They wanted to give hand to the poor one as well. And then we are serving a lot of people. We have a Sikh society, and helping and serving food to those who are helpless. And this is how I think we are organized. And then I wanted to be a part of them as well, because they are doing a good job, because people are doing wars. And then I think this is not the way we should run the country. So we should having a love, and we should spread love, we should spread peace, and we can live long, and then our generation can see what we have done.
Okay, let me ask you some more questions, please.
Yes, please.
Let me take that one.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, what are the most popular activities among young people in your country?
In my country, I think they are getting ruined more rather than going for a right track. They started following Western culture, and then they wanted to change their life, their hairstyle and everything. They wanted to look mod, but somewhere they are lacking, because if they look their personality look nice, but they should look nice internally though. They should respect each other, and then they should have to learn about the moral values as well, and they don't have to get addicted of drugs. And then I think this is how we can save our youth, because most of them, they are not going for nice activities, but we are the one who are helping, working as a Sikh community.
Okay, should parents guide their children when choosing a free time activity?
I think they should, because otherwise they will stay on their phones, and then they will watch games, or they will play games and then watch maybe wrong movies, and you won't pay attention on them. I think you should be aware what they are doing in their free time.
Okay, and do you think people are working more now than in the past, and why?
I think they are working more nowadays. In the past, we were not having that much technology, but nowadays we have machines to work for us, and then I think work is reduced, but still we need a worker for fields to work, and then we need a mechanics, and we need a driver to drive those vehicles, and then we need a perfect trainer and then teacher for the schools. This is how, because nowadays what is happening, brain drain is going on. People who who really are educated, they are moving abroad and then they don't pay attention whilst they don't want to work in India because they are not getting high salary. And this is how I think we should encourage them to stay here. Government should give them a good salary to stay in the country, and they can give more knowledge to.
Okay, and do they work long hours because they personally like to work, or they don't have a choice?
Some of the company are giving permission to work 40 hours, but most of the people in India, they work by themselves. So I think as long as they can can stay fit, like maybe they can work 20 hours as well if they are healthy enough to do it.
Okay, do you think having flexible working hours is good?
I think it's good. You should have flexible hours, and then because sometimes you have a kids and then you have to look after them. So even though sometimes you don't have time in the morning, like you got relatives, and then you can swap with someone else, with your any other staff members, and this is how it should be. I think this is how we can manage each other, and this is how we can make a proper team management.
Okay, let me ask you some more questions.
Yes, please.
And that's about sky.
Okay.
Okay, do you like to see the sky?
Yes, I admire a lot of time. Like I see sometime when I was child, I used to see the pictures like elephant picture or something like that, because it is just come to your mind. This is how it's going on. So I admire a lot of time.
Okay, how about stars?
I love stars because my mom used to say like there is a cot on the top, and then there is one thief, and then police is running behind. We used to see that, but it's the spectrum I came to know like in science subjects. So this is how it is.
Okay, which is good place to see the stars?
It's good place or time.
No, it's good place. Like which is good place to see the stars?
Good place. I think your roof maybe. Because you at night, like when it gets dark, so you can see the brightness of the stars.
Okay, do you know something about stars?
I don't have. I really didn't go for scientific meaning, but I love watching them. I love looking at them because they give me something. Internally, it gives me something like enlighten myself. Like I wanted to be bright as they look.
Okay, did you like star in your childhood as well?
Yes, I used to like it. I used to admire them while sleeping on the roof, because in India we have a roof to have your bed on, and then you can keep watching them. And I used to keep watching them.
Okay, and do you have a pair of sunglasses as well?
Yes, I do have, because whenever I go to beach, and most of the time I prefer glasses.
Okay, and how often do you wear them?
Not occasionally, like whenever I have to. I already mentioned like whenever I have to go to the beach and any ocean or sea.
Okay, and have you ever lost your sunglasses?
Not in my life. I mean, I keep them in a safe place where nobody can touch, because it's precious to me. It was given by my husband, so one of the best thing in my life.
Okay, and my last question: do people in your country wear sunglasses?
Yes, they do, because some of them they are having, due to the eye problems, like the eyes got affected from the sun, or maybe they are not having proper eyesight. So this is how they are using it, and most of them they use for fashion as well, and then the rest would be using just to avoid dust in their eyes.
Okay, thank you very much. You may leave the room now.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice day.
Thank you. You too.